I'm Elaine Sims. I'm on the campus of St. Catherine's College in the Emily W. Hunley Library. I have with me today Erica Osborne, here on staff at St. Catherine's College. Give me your credentials again, Erica. You are?
I am the Director of Student Success here at St. Catherine.
Success, okay.
Yes.
Today, now we're here to talk about a new program that is going to be made available to these students, and there's going to be an upcoming fair, and it's going to be discussed the possibility of studying abroad, which would be out of the country.
Yes.
For a semester or for the summer, or I don't know if it's a term. I don't know how we can talk about that later.
Sure.
I don't know that St. Catherine's has ever offered this before.
We haven't. We at St. Catherine are a part of a consortium of Kentucky colleges. It is known as the Keys Study Abroad Program. And the Keys Study Abroad Program actually originates out of Western Kentucky University. And whenever you're a part of the consortium, it allows your students to be able to participate in the study abroad program. Several colleges in Kentucky actually participate. So the way that the program works is that a professor here in the state of Kentucky that's a part of the Keys program will propose to teach a class abroad. And students from all over the state will then sign up to take that class and go with that instructor together abroad to learn more about that topic. What's really exciting about a program like this is not only does it give students an opportunity to travel outside of the country, but instead of sitting in a classroom and learning about, art history, they'll go to Paris and learn about art history. And we're better to go to learn about art history than right there in Paris. Or instead of sitting in a classroom and learning about British history, they'll travel to London and actually get to see where British history and British literature are taking place. The really interesting thing about studying abroad is that it almost traveling abroad, backpacking through Europe, almost used to be a part of so many students' college experiences a long time ago. And then obviously our world changed. Not so long ago, our whole world changed, and people started viewing going abroad very differently. So now, instead of going abroad and backpacking alone, which we usually wouldn't advise anybody to do anymore, even in a place like Europe, students actually get to go together with somebody, together with other college students, and then also being led by an instructor that it works as an institution right here in Kentucky.
Is this, when you say Keys, we may have some people in the audience as the mother of high school graduates. Mm-hmm. They had Keys money. Is this related to that same project?
It's not. Keys is actually K-I-I-S.
K-I-I, okay.
Yes.
I-I-S. Okay.
Yes.
So Kentucky stands for?
It's the Kentucky Institute for International Studies.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And St. Catherine is very fortunate to be a part of this Keys Consortium. Not every college in Kentucky is, so it's remarkable that we participate in this program and that we give our students right here on St. Catherine College campus an opportunity to earn college credit with another Kentucky instructor, somewhere entirely different in the world. So they have the opportunity to either do an entire semester abroad, which would be several months. So they would go either from August to December or January to May, spending it at another institution across the world, and actually working there, serving as a college student. They'd actually become a college student at another institution. Or what's probably the most popular part of Keys is their summer program. And that means that you would either spend 4 to 8 weeks studying with, again, a Kentucky instructor with other Kentucky students at a particular area, during the summer. Probably some of the most popular trips to do during the summer, obviously, are going to be some of the places I just talked about before. They run trips to Paris. They run a trip in Italy. They have a trip that's in Berlin. There's lots of different places that they have trips, but they also have places that they go down in South America and some other areas. So and every year, there's a different set of classes that are proposed by different instructors. And some of our own St. Catherine instructors here have actually expressed interest in teaching their own classes. But to get approved to teach a class in a Keys program is a 2-year process. So they would be, proposing now classes that they wanted to teach, in the summer of 2016. So it's a long process for people that are thinking about doing this, but it's an excellent opportunity. What I tell students is that your freshman year, if you're interested in studying abroad, you need to think about either going your junior year or maybe even your senior year. It's a powerful experience. It is expensive. It does carry quite a price tag. Some of these trips, kind of depending upon how long you go or where you go, can cost upwards of $5,000.
So none of this, none of this comes from any tuition or anything that they would have paid to St. Catherine's.
That's correct.
This really is just a program separate from St. Catherine's, but it's still
correct. They're actually not charged any tuition. They get college credit without being charged any tuition. All the expense for the program comes from the travel cost, the lodging cost while they're abroad, their food cost, and then also, they arrange for the students to be able to go to things like plays, museums, art shows, all those different kinds of things. That's where the cost from the trip comes. So I really encourage students when they're freshmen to start planning and start saving for trips that they're planning on, from years out. Now, there is financial aid that is available to students that are interested. So, for example, if you were going on a summer trip or something like that, you are able to, because it is a college accredited program, you would be able to, apply for financial aid for the summer. Most of the time, that's going to be in the form of loans when it comes to the summer. But as I tell students, I don't care how you do it, you should definitely do it, because the cheapest time for them to travel is right now when they're students. And it's hard for them to realize, because $5,000 is a lot of money. But I think when I was a college student and I went abroad my senior year to London for a trip just during the winter break, and it was a wonderful, wonderful trip. And I got to spend almost 3 weeks in London learning about the British journalism system there, which was very, very interesting. But I know at the time when I was there, I was thinking, well, the next time I'm in Europe, here are some different things that I'm going to be doing. And we all laugh now when you're adults, because we all know that when you're an adult, you don't just get to jaunt off to Europe wherever it is that you feel like it. Those different kinds of things don't happen because we have jobs and we have families and those sorts of things.
Maybe when your children are grown.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe I'll get back there again, eventually. But, obviously that's just not possible for me right now. But that's what I was telling, whenever I talk to students, I say the price is well worth what the experience that you're going to get. And now is the time to travel when you're a college student. And so, having this fair on campus will give them the opportunity to meet with the Keys representatives right here on campus to start thinking about what trips that they want to go on. They have lots of information on how to save up money, where to get the funds to be able to do this, but it allows them to have time to plan ahead.
When is this going to be? Is it
the Professional School and Study Abroad Fair is going to be here on campus on Thursday, November the 6th, from 11 to 2 in Lord's Hall.
Okay, so how many representatives do you think will be there to talk to these?
For Keys, they'll probably send 1 to 2 representatives, and they have lots of materials. They have materials on all the trips, and they're very knowledgeable on all of the trips.
So the prices would be known then?
The prices, they already have the information on the prices and everything, and they can answer everything from small questions to how do you arrange your air transport to how does this college credit transfer back to my institution. So they're very knowledgeable and they have all of that information.
And of course, like you said, the summer program would be very popular because it also would be a lot less expensive.
The summer program is popular. Also because I think we do have a culture now where students don't want to leave home as much as maybe they used to want to leave home. So it's not near as daunting to think about spending 4 to 8 weeks away from home as it would be to spend an entire semester. So that's probably why it's also more popular as well.
Have you had any feedback from any of the students that you talked to about this?
The students are very excited about studying abroad. I have several students that come to meet with me that are already thinking about doing programs. To try and decide which programs they want and how they're going to afford it and everything like that. But they all express interest in wanting to travel, and we're really hopeful that we have several students that start taking advantage of the opportunities that we have here. To not just think about our campus in terms of our physical campus, here at St. Catherine, but to also start thinking about the opportunities that they have to get their credit that they need for their degrees, somewhere else, which is the kind of experiences that we want them to have.
So, I think their parents definitely would be a vital part of planning
absolutely.
this. And I think if you had somebody coming in and they wanted to budget it out in 2 years, even to set aside a separate account and maybe, you know, I'm just trying to be realistic about how hard it would be for a lot of these young parents to do that.
It is. It's hard. And so, you know, we even suggest to students that if this is something that they're really interested in, that instead of Christmas presents, they ask for money to go into their study abroad fund. Instead of graduation presents, they ask for money to go into study abroad fund. They take on those summer jobs and save up money for, you know, going on study abroad. So, you know, that's the main thing that keeps a student from being able to go on one of these trips.
Sure.
Fortunately, through the KEYS program, they are available to apply for some scholarships. Not scholarships to cover the whole thing, but scholarships to at least cover a portion. So they would have the opportunity to do that. And I'm hoping that the program becomes so popular that we have the opportunity that if there are any donors that would be interested in setting up some sort of endowed study abroad fund, then they would be able to. Because again, you know, how amazing would it be to know that you donated money for a student that's never left the state of Kentucky to go and study in Paris for the summer. You know, those are, you know, obviously goals that we have in mind. But you know, for some of these students that would be going abroad, it'd be the first time that they've ever been on an airplane. So that's, you know, that's pretty big for them to be planning those things. But they're excited, they're interested. You know, getting for them to think about themselves and their potential in a global kind of perspective is always a challenge, but at the same time, it's something that we want them to understand and part of their experience of being a student.
Well, and you know, I've heard of this all of our children's college life, from the one that's 45 down to the one that's 26. I always felt like it was something that only certain students do.
Sure.
You know, because it is expensive, but to budget it out into, you know, it's wonderful that St. Catherine's is able to offer this to a lot of these students. And I know that college is expensive, but we do have some students that definitely could afford to do this. And giving them that opportunity is wonderful.
Absolutely.
And this is not just for people that are going to come back to St. Catherine's, but it's also for people who are graduating and trying to decide what they're going to do.
Sure. So the fair actually has two parts. So one is for students that are interested in studying abroad, and the second part of the fair is going to be a professional school, or also known as a graduate school fair. Other institutions that offer master's degrees that would like for our students to enroll in those colleges after they graduate with their bachelor degree here from St. Catherine are actually going to be setting up that day. We're just very early in our advertising and our registration process, but we've already had confirmed reservations from Eastern Kentucky University, the University of Louisville, Bellarmine University, and the University of Kentucky, who are going to be coming to our campus that day, wanting to recruit students from our campus for their master's degree programs. And those programs include things like a Master's of Social Work, which is a very popular program that a lot of our students are interested in as their next step. The law school, UK Law School, is one of the groups that's going to be here. Several of these schools have MBA programs that they're interested in getting students enrolled in. There's also schools that have Masters of Arts in Teaching for students that maybe got a bachelor's degree in something that wasn't education, but now they're looking to wanting to be a teacher. Those
Which
MAT
happens a lot.
Happens quite
Happens
a
a
lot. So we have people that are interested in doing those programs. And then obviously that day for the professional school fair, we are going to also have a table representing all the different master's degree programs that we offer here at St. Catherine. So we're opening up this fair not just to current St. Catherine students, but any students in the area or any community members in the area who might be interested in learning more about getting a master's degree.
So it's not limited to just graduates from St. Catherine's. That was my next question.
That's correct. I mean, as we know, there are many people that live in our community that have already gotten a bachelor's degree that might be interested in getting a master's degree program here. We have a great master's degree program here. It's very workable, even for people that have full-time jobs, and so they would have the opportunity to come and talk to representatives and learn more about the programs that we offer here. Our master's degree in leadership, for example, is one that I know is very popular with a lot of the people in the community.
That's what I was going to ask you, and this might be a good time to mention, what master's degrees do we offer here? I know leadership, and that's been for 3 years now, I believe.
Correct. We offer leadership. We also have a master's degree in spirituality. And then the third concentration, health and promotion.
Okay. Okay, for people that want to go into a hospital administration, that kind of thing.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I should have known that, but
No, it's okay. It's okay. So we have those 3 programs that we offer, which are, like I said, great programs, not just for students that have recently graduated with a bachelor's degree, but also for people in the community that are maybe looking to further their education or further themselves career-wise by being able to get a master's.
Well, and if people are looking for a master's degree and they're not really sure what we offer or what direction they need to go to, this would be a great opportunity for them to come here, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's
so representatives from our institution, but also from these other institutions, will be available to answer any of the questions that they have about, everything from, what classes do you have to take for this program, to what are the career options for you after you obtain this degree, to things like, financial aid and how do you afford a master's degree. But it's always, as I've been telling students when I've been advertising this, we're not just, even freshmen here with bachelor's degrees already need to be thinking about the next step. And if they're thinking that they want to go to law school, then I want them there that day talking to the UK Law School about what classes do they need to be taking right now to make sure that a law school admission would be something that would be possible for them in the future.
Well, I'm sure the parents that are watching this that would come with their child or their student would want to know that.
Oh, absolutely.
College is too expensive to take a credit that you can't use.
And we're so fortunate that we've already had so much interest in this program because, normally a student would have to travel to lots of different places to compare all of these different programs, and they're all going to come right here to our campus and make it very easy for them as they start making those graduate school decisions.
Well, I may come out here that day. I need to put this in my calendar, but I think it'd be interesting just to observe it, see what's going on. Be very interesting.
Yeah, and it's great too. It's not just great for students, but it's also great for our faculty. Our faculty love coming over and talking to these different graduate programs because some of them are talking up things like a master's degree in social work, and they want to know what the best institution is for us to send students to for that master's degree program, and they want to learn more about the program and meet who the admissions people would be. And so some of the admissions people here are just as excited to talk to the faculty as they are to the students.
I think it's so interesting that social work's coming back. In the 60s, so many people, well, during the time of the Peace Corps, so many people went to social work, but that's coming back. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it is. And we have lots of students that are actually interested in that I talk to every day.
Which they would go into?
Well, everything from being someone that is like a caseworker,
right? Okay.
To somebody that maybe would want to work in family counseling or something like that. Absolutely. And there's always a huge demand for people that are interested in getting involved in those types of fields.
I have a sister that was a social worker, and she works in suicide prevention in California.
The fair is Thursday, November the 6th. It's going to be held in Lord's Hall, and it's from 11 to 2.
Okay. Well, I'll try to come. It'll be interesting. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thanks.